Part of me would like to get into MTG, but I feel like it would consume all of my time because it's too addictive. Yeah, I very intentionally try to stave off like the actual sort of addiction part of it, which is usually the gambling, which is the booster packs. So I do drafts, which is a format where each player like has 3 packs, and then they open them. You sort of open a pack, take one card, pass the rest to the next person, and then take from the person passing to you. And you end up with a deck. And you get prize packs if you do well in these drafts at stores. I tend to do well. And I very intentionally don't open all my prize packs because opening packs is addictive as hell. And if I can stare at the pack and say, like, I have no desire to open this, then it's generally much better mentally. And you can usually sell these, especially as they get older. They get more expensive. These are pretty recent. I had one idea, though, to combine my hobbies, Mookie MC, which is a Magic the Gathering pack has 14 cards. That means if I open this pack, I could lay them all out, and then I could use each card as inspiration for one line of a poem. And what poetic form has 14 lines? The sonnet. So I could use Magic the Gathering cards, which I already have, as an incentive to actually write sonnets, because I don't really write them that often, and I probably ought to practice them. And then all the cards have like words on them. So I'd be like, take a word from each card and then write a sonnet where one card is within each line. Overlapping my entirely niche and random hobbies for my own personal benefit. I could even put them online. People are like, wow, that's weird. But yeah, Magic the Gathering is very addictive. Uh, when I first got into it, the joke from the guy at the game store that he said to my mom was, your kids will never do drugs because they'll spend all their money on Magic cards. And I've only done drugs once. Interesting way to combine activities. We could try to do a sonnet right now if you want. I think, but regardless, it's like finding poetry in everything. You want to do it? Okay. We can do it. This is kind of like a cute way to use these. And then y'all get to have the joy of opening a Magic the Gathering pack. Y'all don't know what you're looking at, but I'll tell you if we get something exciting. Magic the Gathering sonnet? Dude, let's do it. Okay. This seems like a fun way to write on stream, because honestly, I normally don't like writing on stream, but this is like a little writing mini game. So there are 14 cards. We're just gonna go straight in order. So each card is a line of the sonnet. Now I have a question. Do you all think I should open one card, only look at the first card, write the first line, and then pull the next card? Um, to like really slow down the pack opening, and then I have to like improvise as I go and like adjust to it? Or should I look at all the cards and then sort of build the sonnet from there? What do y'all think? Do them all so I can find motifs and themes. Okay. So we're gonna go for a better poem, less of a challenge. Sure thing. Okay. A pack of magic cards. Starts with a token or card with art. This is Kiora. She's a merfolk. So, card 1 is Bloodfell Caves. Build after okay. So, line 1, Bloodfell Caves. We have a foil Twin Blade Blessing. Rare Doubling Season. This card's like $20 or something. So that's actually like kind of a crazy hit. So let's go. Doubling season. Then we have fishing pole. So our first, I guess we're doing a Shakespearean sonnet probably. So that's our first quatrain. Our first quatrain. Bloodfell Caves, Twin Blade Blessing, Doubling Season, Fishing Pole. Damn, I may need to come back. Yep, there's the thing. Like, that's the addiction, right? So that's our first quatrain. And we'll use a word from each of them. Bolt Wave. Stromkirk Blood Thief. Dwynen. Gilt Leaf Dayan. Vanguard Seraph. An Angel. Make Your Move. Has chess pieces on it. Thrill of Possibility. Hungry Ghoul. Dazzling Angel. And then our last couplet will be Runaway Together, Treetop Snare Spinner. And we're going to make a sonnet. Quatrain 1, Quatrain 2, Quatrain 3, couplet. So, in terms of theme, this is okay. That's like really kind of fun. Bloodfell, Blood Thief. So like already we're doing some things with blood. I think we even sort of have some crazy like alliteration happening with like Bloodfell Blessing, doubling, this kind of thing, and then even like ing, fishing, doubling, blessing. So in terms of just like card titles, we definitely have that. Now also they have all sorts of different text on them, which adds like a whole lot of options for words. So like this land enters tapped. But I think using the titles is definitely like, or the names of the cards is like going to be the funnest things. This will be a challenge, that's for sure. Yeah. So going into this, Bolt Wave deals 3 damage. Some of the cards have flavor text, which can be very useful to us. Taming a storm is like taming a wild beast. Once you understand, what it wants and needs, you can direct it in any way you like. So you see, there's like a lot of words on some of these cards. You say blades and blood, stylish fail. Yeah, exactly. But like Blood Thief. This is elves, but it's a warrior. We have leaf, reach. So there are like some good poetic words in there. And then Vanguard Seraph. So we have 2 angels. This could be a thing if we want to have a theme of some kind of angelic presence in our poem. So that's an option. This also has Surveil. That's an ability in Magic the Gathering. Lets you look at the top card of your deck and then you can get rid of it, like looking ahead. Which is kind of a fun word. Surveil. Kind of weird syllabically. Surveil. It's probably an iamb. Make your move. If you're thinking only one step ahead, you're already falling behind. Thrill of Possibility. Draws you cards. Talks about great heroes. Risky. And maybe with some of our like blood, swords, like you said, we could talk about maybe like a hero or something. Blessing, gods, perhaps. Angels. And then we have Run Away Together. And of course, since our last line, our last couplet of a sonnet is usually meant to be a little bit of a turn or a twist, maybe we could have our hero in a moment of cowardice after all of this sort of like turn and run. That's certainly possible. There's also an ad running, and I do have to go to the bathroom, so we'll continue this in a second. But I do think this is cool. This is exciting. This is actually super fun. I'll be right back. I'm back. The ad is maybe still running for some people, but I'm going to set up a document to do this poem. I won't start anything until I know the ad is over. So, where is it? What do I use? Good Notes. It's the first one. Of course it's the first one. Good Notes 6. What? 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 Y'all. Fucking capitalism. Dude. Restore? Dude. Wait. Y'all, this is fucked. I can't use this anymore. They've taken my app in the last, like, day. We'll do it on paper. It's fine. It's better that way. But that's where, like, all of the analysis is. So hopefully it still saves. Like, what if I upgrade and lose everything? Can I get my files? Like, that's the more important question, yeah. Okay, anyway, I'm back. I'm Ginny, and we're writing a poem based on a pack of magic cards. Okay, let me just catch up on these. This will be a challenge. It's cool that you're thinking about all these possibilities and holding them in your head. I have to be making notes at this point. I think we'll try to start noting this out. I have this notebook. That'll work. This is the old notebook that I used when I would write on stream more. Okay. So I'm going to take some of these to the side. And we're going to start with our first quatrain on the page. So the first card we saw of the pack, or line 1 of our sonnet, is going to be from Bloodfell Caves. So, of course, in terms of words we might use, we have like the actual title, which I think I like generally prefer in the poem. So we could use like blood, even blood fell, or we could use blood and fell separately. We have enters and life. I'm going to try to avoid, in general, things like tapped. That's like a very Magic the Gathering word. And if I use too much of that, I might end up with a poem that actually sounds too Magic the Gathering-y and is a little tacky. Blessing. Blessing. Blade. Twin. Strike. Out of double strike. And we maybe have flash as well as words we could use in a poem. There's also like enchantment or like enchant, which could definitely be used in a poetic sense, but maybe not in this one if we're looking like maybe combat-y. Line 3, our card was doubling season. So doubling and season are both going to work. This has a ton of words on it. Enchantment, if an effect would create one or more tokens under your control, it creates twice that many tokens instead. I'm going to say twice maybe from that. If an effect would put one or more counters on a permanent you control, it puts twice that many counters instead. Inky Capnip and Raiders, welcome. We are doing something very silly right now. My name is Ginny. I'm the poet of Twitch, and right now we are writing a sonnet based on a pack of Magic the Gathering cards. So what is happening is that a pack of Magic the Gathering cards has 14 cards in it. It has 14 cards, and a sonnet has 14 lines. So each card is going to connect to one line of this sonnet, and it's going to encourage me to actually write sonnets because I don't do it that much. For anyone who knows Magic the Gathering, we happen to open a doubling season, which is pretty cool. And this is kind of fun. Oh wow, this is amazing. And welcome in. How was your stream, Inky? And how is everyone? Welcome, Nerdarine. Glad to have you all. It is so excellent to have you. It's gonna be / shout out stylish fail. But yes, please do shout them out. Any like Twitch command is /. So we got doubling season. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just sort of taking all of the words from the cards in order, breaking them down into what might be useful in the poem. We have some sort of theme probably of like a hero with a sword, a blade, fighting. We have lots of these kinds of words in our cards. So this is probably what it's going to pan out and look like. It was good. I finally hopped back on Spiritfarer. Also decided to axe the schedule Embracing Chaos. That's fair. Schedules are hard. I don't know what Spiritfarer is, but I hope you're having fun with that. And if you do need to rest, if you do need to take a break, raid and run, that's totally fine. We definitely still appreciate you. And I'm going to shout you out. / shout out at Inky Catnip. Oh yeah, it's not Nerdarine's raid, it's Inky's raid. And go follow. But y'all can follow Nerdarine too. Because Nerdarine is awesome and a really cool streamer. So we'll just also shout out Nerdarine. Because Nerdarine is awesome. Oh wait, I have to wait between shoutouts. Maybe I'm very kind. Follow Nerdarine. Nerdarine's great. Nerdarine is also writing. Inky does some poetry, has submitted to us, and also does like gaming and stuff. Really cool people. So this fourth sonnet of our first quatrain, we have a sort of interesting shakeup in our poem because it's fishing pole. And before this we had like, you know, blood and blades and this kind of stuff. Strike. I know we have fishing pole, but there might be some words in here. So equipment, it goes unstressed, stressed, unstressed, which could be perfect at the beginning or just anywhere on an odd number syllable in our sonnet. It says equipped creature has 1 tap fishing pole, put a bait counter on fishing pole. Okay, so bait might be a great word. Whenever equipped creature becomes untapped, remove a bait counter from this equipment. If you do, create a 1/1 blue fish creature token. Fishing pole lure. Unfortunately, it's not on the card. Trying to strictly use what's on the card. And also pole, maybe. I mean, we could use fishing, but it doesn't feel thematically associated with the rest of our poem. So, now we go to our second quatrain, which is the uncommon slot, or most of the uncommons. We have Bolt Wave, which is a nice little uncommon hit. That's like a couple dollars. Bolt Wave. So we have Bolt and Wave, both fine. And damage. Flavor text. So like I said, this is going to be very useful for some of our Magic the Gathering sonnet. Taming a Storm, So these are like, this doesn't do anything on the card. It's just to add a little bit of flavor. Taming a storm is like taming a wild beast. Once you understand its wants and needs, you can direct it any way you like. So now we have like, this line could have understand, beast, wild. It could have taming. A lot going on there. Storm. Be a fisher of men. Yeah. We're going to try to keep the sonnet comprehensible. So next is Stromkirk Blood Thief. So we have Blood and Thief and Vampire. Thief, Vampire, Rogue. Okay. Ostentatious in the flavor text. I almost just want to use that because that's a hard word to use in a sonnet. Does it even work? Ostentatious. Not bad. Storm Epic reference. I don't know Epic. I haven't listened to it yet, Inky. The only Epic the musical I've listened to is you singing it on your stream. We have opponent and life as well. In at the beginning of your end step, the end, if an opponent lost life this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on a vampire you control. I know it's so good. You all like talk about it all the time. Dwynen Giltleaf Dain. This is like low-key kind of hard. But we do have Leaf. Attacks. Or just attack. And control. For each attacking elf you control. Also, if any of you all have words that you see in the cards that you are like, you should use that word, or you have ideas for how this sonnet is going to go, you all can absolutely participate. Vanguard Seraph. Flying, whenever you gain life for the first time on each turn, surveil 1. She guides expedition parties through the perilous floating ruins of Zendikar's ancient empires. Empires? It's retelling, yeah, I know it's about Odysseus. And, okay, it's straight fire. Good to know. Yossified by a spectacular 25-year-old with Lin-Manuel Miranda vibes. Is written by a 25-year-old? That's impressive. Empires. Gain. Vanguard. Seems reasonable. Now we have our next quatrain. This is in now all common cards. Starting with Make Your Move. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature with power 4 or greater. So definitely anything from like Make Your Move. All good words. Flavor text, if you're thinking only one step ahead, you're already falling behind. Falling behind. I'm falling so that's not iambic. But we have each word separately. Artifact, perhaps. Artifact. Long, short, long. I don't know what Hades... Oh. Inky. It's like an amazing musical. Hadestown is Orpheus and Eurydice told alongside Hades and Persephone in musical form as a southern swing like American jazz style with like rag and like jazz trombone. I saw Hadestown live here in Vegas. It's amazing. So interesting in your process, and I barely understand what a sonnet is. Very educational. We can talk about the sonnet form after we get these words down. Thrill of possibility. Possibility. Da, 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 da. So, as an additional cost to cast this card, discard a card, draw 2 cards. Remember all the great heroes, easy word, who were careful and never did anything risky? Me neither. Sir Kara the Bold. So, risky, sure. Then we had Hungry Ghoul, then Dazzling Angel. All right, I'm sold. So we'll trade. I'll listen to Hadestown and you'll listen to Epic. I've been wanting to listen to Epic. I will. Hungry Ghoul is next. Sacrifice another creature. Sacrifice. I sacrifice. Okay. That's a banger. All at once, the warden realized the string of mysterious escapes was an entirely different problem, is the flavor text. Problem, escapes, good words, seem to fit. Dazzling Angel. Dazzling Angel. Whenever another creature you control enters, you gain 1 life. Her wings ripple, good word, with impossible colors, a sign that a miracle is on the way. Miracle. And then our last couplet is run away together. We run away together. Yeah, that could go straight into the sonnet. Choose 2 target creatures controlled by different players. Return those creatures to their owner's hands. Virtue is virtue, whatever the heart that nurtures it. And it shows like a wizard and a troll running away together. Virtue. Treetop Snare Spinner. Lots of text. Reach. This creature can block creatures with flying. Death Touch. Any amount of damage this creature deals to another is enough to destroy it. 2 and a green, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control, activate only as a sorcery. The griffins think they rule the sky, but the spiders know better. So, we have like death. It's a good way to end a poem. But we also have reach, destroy. We have rule. A lot of ideas about like fighting and control and ruling. So that's that. Now, Inky, you said you're not super familiar with what a sonnet actually is. So we'll talk about it. The most important thing is that a sonnet has 14 lines. That's the only reason why this works, and the only reason why, it works with Magic the Gathering cards with 14 cards in the booster pack. I saw this like last week and I'm like, wait, 14? 14? That's a poetry number. So a sonnet has 14 lines, and a sonnet is written in iambic pentameter. What does this mean? So, iambic. This is referring to... Doesn't it have something to do with the iambic pentameter? Is that just a Shakespeare thing? It does. It does indeed. So, iambic pentameter is the common way to write a sonnet. And this is a structure of sound, basically. Where in iamb, there are 2 types of 2-syllable words. One is iamb, and one is trochee. T-R-O-C-H-E-E. Iamb, trochee. An iamb is unstressed, then stressed in terms of syllables, and a trochee is stressed, then unstressed. For example, let's take the word aloft. The first syllable is second syllable is loft. There's much more weight, there's much more stress on loft. Aloft. So since it is unstressed, stressed, it is an iamb. So, the sonnet follows a form iambic, unstressed, stressed, pentameter, a meter of 5. So 5 iambs, which means each line has 10 syllables, because an iamb is 2. So it goes unstressed, stressed, unstressed, stressed, unstressed, stressed, unstressed, stressed, unstressed, stressed. In each line, da-dun, 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 da-dun. It has like a bounce, a rhythm to it. So you also can't actually see what I'm writing. Aloft, unstressed, stressed, unstressed, stressed, unstressed, stressed. So that's what we're doing. Sonnets are a very traditional form of poetry. Many people have written them. I'm not great at them. So honestly, I'm just going to start writing it. We have some sort of story about blood and heroes, and we'll figure it out as we go. But sonnets also follow a rhyme scheme. In this case, we are doing a Shakespearean sonnet, which is quatrain, 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 couplet, 4-4-4-2 in terms of lines, and it goes A, B, A, B, in terms of rhymes, and then it goes C, D, C, D, E, F, E, F, G, G as our rhyme scheme. So the first card was Bloodfell Caves. And we have blood, fell, enters, and life. Our hero enters hero. Hero is a trochee. Our hero enters caves of blood and dark. That's a nice introduction for a little heroic sonnet. Hero. It's definitely stressed, unstressed. And then enters, stressed, unstressed. So we go, our hero enters caves of blood and dark. Seems like a good start. Yeah. So that means our third line will have to end with the same rhyming sound, arc, of blood and dark. Da-dun, 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 da-dun. Our hero enters caves of blood and dark, and that's using blood, caves, and enters off of this card. So that's pretty good. Then we have our twin blade blessing as the next line. And words from this: blessing, blade, flash. Blessing is a trochee. If we try to say it as like blessing, it doesn't sound right. It is blessing. A blessing, da 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 da. Blade as well. Something about like the blade flashing, blessing the cave with light, perhaps, going in heroic and ready to attack. Seems like what we would do. His blessing blade all swinging with the flash, for example. All swinging with a flash. Swinging, long, short, or stressed, unstressed. Swinging with a flash. So we used blessing, blade, and flash. This is like kind of fun. Next we have doubling season, which I think is like worth $20. So we made money off of this. Doubling season. It might be like down lower. Oh, it's $30. That's huge. That was a $5 pack, and this is a $30 card. We did it. So, doubling season. We have doubling, we have season, we have... What word is that I wrote down? Twice. Interesting. And we have to rhyme with dark at the end of this line. So dark, it rhymes with... What do we have for rhymes with dark? Someone help me. You better make this line more valuable than the others. True that. Rhymes with dark. Help me out here. I mean, there's like park, but that doesn't fit into the poem. Snark, there's spark. Ooh, spark is good. Spark works against dark. Stark. I like stark. Lark. Lark works as well. A bird. Welcome in, raspberry gummy. Meadowlark, yep. Are larks associated with a season? Spring or something? Because we have season. Raspberry gummy, welcome. We're writing a poem, a sonnet, based on Magic the Gathering cards. We opened a pack. There are 14 cards. There are 14 lines in a sonnet. It's a fun little game. So, like, we could say something about, like, the season springtime lark, which he's maybe trying to protect, like, protect some warm seasonal beauty by going into this dark, scary cave. Or he's leaving behind. Okay. Springtime. Springtime is probably an iamb. No, a trochee. Long, short. Springtime lark. Okay, so I'm going to work backwards. He leaves behind the bright and springtime lark. The season springtime lark. Season. Da-da. The season springtime lark. Boom. He leaves behind the season springtime lark. And then we have flash from Twin Blade Blessing. And the last is going to be fishing pole. The words maybe from this including equipment, pole, fishing seems unlikely here, and bait as well. And we want to rhyme with flash. I don't know if anyone has a good flash rhyming word that feels on theme. Dash, perhaps, going quickly into the cave. he charges with equipment at a dash, you know, something like that. Equipment works. Thank you for the follow, Raspberry Gummy. Flash, dash, rash. He could be rash. We maybe have the ending of the poem already in mind with run away together, where he's gonna turn and run. Ooh, his equipment. Maybe it's loud, it's crashing. Uh, Gash, very nice. Shark for fishing pole later. So we have gash, cash, crash. Okay. Um, I like gash. I also like crash, which I read cash as crash. He bumbles in equipment all a crash. So now we show him sort of inept. Bumbles. Yeah. Trochee. Bumbles in equipment all a crash. This is like fun. All a crash. Cool. That's our first quatrain. So now we create a new rhyme scheme, and we are starting with the card for this line was Bolt Wave, which had a lot of text on it because of the flavor text. We get a lot of different directions. It has bolt, wave, damage, understand, beast, wild, taming. So lots of options. And storm. I don't know if we like any of those words in particular. But basically I like the idea of this guy goes into the dungeon. He like fights something. There's like the ghoul at the end. And then he runs away at the end because he is like overreached. He is not strong enough. And that's sort of like the turn of the sonnet that we traditionally see at the end of the form. So, Bolt Wave. Understand. The man not understanding his, like, the situation. Like, maybe we lean into him being sort of dumb. Understand. The man not understanding what's ahead. There we go. Not understanding what's ahead. Then we have Blood Thief. Stromkirk Blood Thief was the next card in the pack. This is a vampire. It has the words blood and thief and vampire and rogue and ostentatious and opponent and life. Do we want a vampire in this cave? Thoughts? Do we like vampires? Vampire in the poem, yes or no, chat? And it can be any rhyme in this line because we haven't figured out what our D rhyme is. That's okay. No takers. Are the rest of the cards vampire leaning? Not well. So we have in the next stanza a ghoul, which could just lean into like the different monsters. I think there's maybe, but other than that, not so much. We do say caves of blood and dark at the beginning, which would fit well with our idea of a vampire. And then we have the ghoul, and then we have him going in, getting trounced by monsters and running away. Later cards include angels as well, and just some like general terms about fighting. I think the vampire could work. Yes, go for the vampire cameo, see how it flows. Okay. Vampire. 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 The man not understanding what's ahead. For in the dark. New vampiric, which is more iambic. Vampiric. Vampire is, it sort of feels difficult. Ire is a really awkward sort of syllable. But maybe vampiric. The man not understanding what's ahead. For lurking in the depths. No. Ooh, the word silence is on here. Silence. For in the silence are vampiric frights. That should work. I'm fine with that. Silence lurk. Vampiric frights. The man not understanding what's ahead. For in the silence lurk vampiric frights. And then the man has to do something. The next card is what is it? Where was the card? Was it Dwynen? Yeah. And we are rhyming with ahead. I like dead. Succubus, is that a vampire? Not exactly. They're pretty cool. Okay, so let's just rhyme ahead with dead. The man not understanding what's ahead, for in the silence lurk vampiric frights. And he has to do something. Like the man not understanding what's ahead, it does this. Walk straight into the lair of Walking Dead. Boom. Wait. But then I'm not using this card. Walks right into the reach of Walking Dead. And then the last card in this is Vanguard Seraph. Here, brush up on my knowledge of ghouls. Yeah, all that stuff is fun. Vanguard Seraph. And we're trying to rhyme with frights. What rhymes with frights? Help me out, y'all. Within the line, we have like expedition. Lights. Warrior. Warrior. Sights. Heights. Heights. Blight. Ooh, good. I like blight. So something that he is then also just like moving toward blight. This expedition surely ends in blight. That works. Expedition is on the card here. Expedition. Expedition. Yeah. Okay. Final quatrain. Begins with make your move, and then thrill of possibility, and then hungry ghoul, and then dazzling angel. So, what do we want to happen in this line? Is an expedition 3 syllables? This expedition surely ends in blight. You can have 3-syllable words in a sonnet. They just have to fit within the iambic motion. So like it goes da da da. Expedition. Wait, this expedition, sure. Expedition. That's what we're saying, right? Isn't expedition 3? No, it's 4. Yeah, expedition. Okay, yeah. We're good. We are good. So do we want him to fight the ghoul and then run away? That's kind of what the cards have told us since we end with run away together. And a snare. So, destroy, falling, move. Destroy. And we've used arc, esh, ite, and ed. This one said ahead, so now I could use behind at the end for like a little like meaning connection. The hero becomes the blight. Maybe in the end 2 ghouls run away. I like that twist. He becomes so scary and terrifying that everything else runs away from him. That's pretty cool. So, oh, it also has instant. So maybe like the ghouls come up behind. And in an instant his foes are behind. Instant. And in an instant his foes are behind. That's kind of some fun like sonic stuff. An instant. Sound-wise. And in an instant. His foes are behind. Thrill of possibility. Thrill. In an instant was behind. The hero becomes the blight. In an instant, he was behind. I like them behind him. A thrill of rot. A thrill of rot shot through. Almost. But we can do that. We can end with veins. A thrill of rot. A thrill of rot the hero's veins. Heroes, wait. Hero's veins. Yeah. A thrill of rot. For entered. For plagued or went into. Infected. A thrill of rot infected. Infected. Healthy veins. Okay. And we're definitely using ghoul in the next line. Okay. And there's sacrifice. What rhymes with behind? Mind, kind. Oh, like maybe he became one of their kind? Virgin veins. Oh, I like it. Virgin veins. Like the ghouls added another to their kind. Yeah, he gets bitten by a zombie, yeah. Like changed him in kind. The sacrifice became of ghoulish kind. I like this. You said pined or bind? Bind works well too here. But I like him becoming. The sacrifice became of ghoulish. Of ghoul. Excuse me, the ghoul of ghoulish kind. And then we have dazzling angel. It has ripple. Maybe like his skin ripples. Ripple. Ripple. A ripple. The rippled skin now drained of all its life. Or his rippled skin. And then he's going to turn on his ghoulish friends and chase them away. They are going to run away because that is our twist, which we have to accomplish in 2 lines. Oh wait, no. This has to rhyme with veins. This line doesn't work. Almost messed up the rhyme scheme. A thrill of rot infected virgin veins. The sacrifice became of ghoulish kind. Still crying out with something something pain. Stains? I like stains. Maybe it can be still like his rippled skin. Stains. Pains. I like pains. Still struggling under deathly rain. Deathly rain. Rains is cool. Rain. Wayne. I like rain. It's very fantasy. So I still need to use rippled from this card. His rippled skin now under deathly rain. There we go. And I'm going to switch the order of the last 2 cards and cheat because I want the zombies to run away at the end. There's also going to be an ad, but I'll finish the poem during it anyway. Away. Probably way with something else to end the first line. So like something takes control and is now powerful as a ghoul. Yeah, we're on like now the last couplet. And we're going to do end with run away or ran away. We're in past tense. Ran away. So something about him like being powerful now so that he like scares them. Stay. took their will away? Like this guy becomes a zombie, and then now, since he was a hero, he's like the king of the zombies now. I was away for a moment. How did the fishing rod card work its way? The word equipment, since the card is an equipment type card, uh, he bumbles in equipment all. What does that say? All a crash in the fourth line of the first quatrain. What rhymes with way? Like away. I don't know. Maybe we just do the ending where like he should have learned his lesson. Still stay. Ashtray? Oh, astray. Okay. Yeah. Fay, slay, stay. There are a ton worth checking out rhymes on. Yeah, I'm asking chat to do it. Chat is helping me. I'm writing a sonnet, Shake My Spear, based on Magic the Gathering cards. Where they lay. The streamer is lazy. Yeah, pretty much. We are the AI. Exactly. Oh, just like hive mind. Maybe like now that they're all just like mindless zombies, but he had like his sword and stuff. Like he still has this sword that can slay or something. And because of that, the zombies get scared of him because he's now like the best zombie. And then the other zombies run away. But it could just be like a really funny ending. A Sele Day Stray, Gray. Delay. Array, betray. Ooh, betray! Skin. No, under deathly rain. I don't know. There's like, I don't know if there's enough space for this twist. This is kind of hard. And I have to use words from treetop snare spinner, which does have rule. So maybe like the idea is he tries to. There's also death, so I could just talk about death. He like. He broke their baneful rule. He broke their rule. He chose somehow to betray. And from this fright, like even zombies ran away. What was the last quatrain? And in... God, my handwriting is so bad. And in an instant, his foes are behind. A thrill of rot infected virgin veins. The sacrifice became of ghoulish kind, his rippled skin now under deathly rain. But then we're gonna switch it so he wait, he rules over death and decay. Yeah, decay. And then that has death in it from Death Touch. But with his sword he ruled o'er death. He ruled death and decay. Yeah. But with his sword he ruled. Yeah, that works. Death and decay. And in an instant his... Wait, slight mistake in the meter in the first line. And in an instant his... I see, his foes. Awkwardly unstressed foes. You're right. And in an instant, zombies. Zombies are behind. We can just refer to them as they are. And in an instant, zombies are behind. A thrill of rot and inject... what did you say? A thrill of rot. Infecting, probably. Infecting virgin veins. The sacrifice became of ghoulish kind. His rippled skin now under deathly rain. Boom. But with his sword he ruled death and... I mean, that also, isn't great. He ruled over decay. Over. That's not. You can't do that. He ruled... or their decay. I could do or their decay. Because that's one syllable, right? But with his sword he ruled or their decay. No, because it has to rhyme with run away. For the next line. Can't be decay and death. But with his sword he ruled. But with his sword destroyed the foul decay. Ooh. Maybe. See, then it might sound like he's destroying the decay in himself, and then he like somehow conquers it. I want him to be like a better zombie and then scare the rest of the zombies away, because then it's a twist that he like still sort of fails and ends up like gross. Yeah. Yeah. Here, all the rot enters him. He comes under deathly rain, and then he subverts it by becoming like King Zombie, and then the other zombies run. It's just like a silly story. Um, Hence ruling over decay. But with his sword he ruled. Ah, but with his sword becomes supreme decay. Oh, but I have to use a word from Treetop Snare Spinner is the issue. And that's where rule is coming from. But with his sword supreme, he ruled decay. That works. That's good enough for me. But with his sword supreme, he ruled decay. Or rules the foul decay. Oh, yeah, that's fine. But with his sword, he rules the foul decay. What's another word for zombie? Did we say undead yet? Undead. The poor undead all fled and ran away. I'm watching Walking Dead, so I've heard a lot of synonyms for zombie. Yeah. Walker, roamer, biter. Yeah. Oh, wait, we can add an extra rhyme, too. The poor undead, they fled. They ran away. Boom. Becomes the tyrant king of zombies. It's like in Minecraft. Like, the zombie that's holding the sword is way scarier than the other ones. That's how you know which zombie's the best. And we pulled a doubling season. So the sonnet in its entirety. Our hero enters caves of blood and dark. Hold on. I gotta like pull up the cards as we go. So I'll have to put them back in order, because that's the whole point. It goes Bloodfell Caves, Twin Blade Blessing, Doubling Season, and then Bolt Wave. No. Fishing Pole. Bolt Wave. Bolt Wave. For in the... And then the Vampire. And then Walks right into his reach. Starts Dwinin. Expedition is the angel. This is cool exercise. You should do it once a month or so. I theoretically win packs every week from doing drafts at game stores. So I kind of have like a continuous supply of packs. Okay, Expedition, and then we have Zombie, Thrill of Possibility. Oh wait, the zombies are behind. Oh, so let's make your move, and then Ripple. Okay, here it is. Y'all like it? Okay. Just keep winning? Well, I do. Okay. Our hero enters caves of blood and dark. His blessing blade. All... What did I write? What does that say? All swinging with a flash. He leaves behind the season's springtime lark. He bumbles in equipment. All a crash. It's really hard to read my own handwriting. Yeah, get a clean take. The man not understanding what's ahead. I should type it up, really. Let me type it up so it's just easier for everyone to see and read. I'm like actually struggling with my own handwriting right now, which is so real. Okay. Oops, typo. Yeah. Okay. My poems. Dude, stop. Okay, what is this called? Oh, this needs a title. Someone title this poem. What's it called? Give me a title. Someone, anyone, first person to do it. What is this poem called? Anything goes. I don't care. Nothing? No takers? Zombie poem? I'm gonna call it zombie poem if no one gives me anything better. MTG Wiz? Well, there's gonna be more of these. This should have a real title. It should be called all caps. We pulled a doubling season. That's $30. T. Okay. For now, it's zombie poem. Viewer exercise poem number 1. The caves were called Bloodfell Caves. We are calling it MTG Sonnet 1. Dealing with zombies. What has a nice ring to it? What am I naming it? Guarded by a zombie. You think like the name of the card, Bloodfell Caves, had a good ring to it? I just call it Bloodfell Caves. Or it's gonna be MTG Sonnet 1, or Dealing with Zombies, or Carded by a Zombie. Let me like put my face back for now. Look how when you're immune to poison. It's not a specific term for that in Magic. Okay, I'm gonna start typing this up while y'all come up with a real title. Caves of blood and dark. His blessing blade, all swinging with a flash. He leaves behind the seasons. You know, I have springtime lark, but I just say the season's meadow lark. He bumbles in equipment all a crash. The man not understanding what's ahead. What are cards that take opponent's creatures? Oh, like, yeah, those are... What are those actually called? A work of MTG. Infection countered. That's funny. What are those called? Are those called provoke effects or something? Gaining control. The man not understanding what's ahead. My tense is all messed up. It's like present and past tense. It's really bad. For in the silence lurk vampiric frights. Walks right into the reach of Walking Dead. This expedition surely ends in blight. I'm almost done. And in an instant, zombies are behind. A thrill of rot infecting virgin veins. The sacrifice becomes of ghoulish kind. Ghoulish. Act of treason. Yeah. That is one of those cards. His rippled skin now under deathly rain. Okay. But with his sword, he rules the foul decay. The poor undead, they fled, they ran away. But those undead, they fled, they ran away. Okay, but those undead. Okay, it's done. It's done. And I think I'll call it, okay, I actually really like Act of Treason because it's a card that steals your opponent's creatures. And it's what the poem is about. Okay. Here is the Magic the Gathering Sonnet number 1, Act of Treason. Inspired. A sonnet inspired, each line by a card from a pack of Magic cards. Our hero enters caves. Wait. Oh, you can't see it in front of the screen. Like, you focus each time. It's super low. Then you can't read it, though. Look, it's Bloodfell Caves, guys. Maybe I can just read it here, and y'all can see it here in impossible handwriting. Act of Treason. Act of Treason. A poem inspired by a pack of Magic the Gathering cards. Our hero enters caves of blood and dark, his blessing blade all swinging with a flash. He leaves behind the season's meadowlark. He bumbles in equipment, all a crash. The man not understanding what's ahead, for in the silence lurk vampiric frights. He walks right into reach of walking dead. This expedition surely ends in blight. And in an instant, zombies are behind. A thrill of rot, infecting virgin veins. The sacrifice becomes of ghoulish kind. His rippled skin now under deathly rain. But with his sword he rules the foul decay. But those undead, they fled, they ran away. Act of treason. By me. By a pack of Magic the Gathering cards and me and chat all together. That's super fun. Bim, bim, bim. Well done. Yep, thank you. And we are well over the end of stream. So that's definitely got to be the end of stream. 'Cause I have some things to write before a rehearsal that is tonight. And for reference, I have a bunch more packs of cards. I usually get like 2 of these every week, as long as I go 2 in 1. Sometimes I get 3 of these. And I can just not open any of them and just keep them, bring them back for stream, and then use them for fun stuff like this. Because that was actually really fun. It's way more interesting than just opening the pack.